We're winging it, Jerry.
You always wing it.
We're gonna get killed.
What you mean, we, white boy? You ready?
Here we go.
What's good, everybody? Welcome into the OG NBA betting show. Me and Babano for right now. We'll see. Maybe Wham Bam will slide through, and I think Dutchy's gonna come through at a little bit later. So, Babano, good to be back with you. How's everything going with you?
Yeah, God forbid we work Dutchy too hard. I know he does the sesh earlier on Monday, but it's not like his 2 hours he puts in compares to my 3-4 hours of stuff I do every day before the show starts. But nevertheless, I digress. I digress, as they say. Shout out to everyone. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hit the like button. We appreciate it very much. Like I said, good to be back for a brand new week. NBA-wise, I know it was a good football weekend. Hockey was pretty good. NBA, I'm trying to think, how did it go? I think yesterday was pretty solid overall. We had some winners. I think we snuck out a small profit, Skee, with Sunday NBA. I lost a tough beat with New Orleans early in the day, the Pelicans. That was tough. I mean, they're covering the whole way. I've been fading the Orlando Magic as favorites, and then they just blow it, essentially, in the fourth quarter. That was tough. So that's a tough loss we had there. But we had Brooklyn. We had San Antonio. They lost the game, but they hung on. I had 2.5 with San Antonio at Minnesota. They hung on. I took Miami plus the points at OKC. Can't be laying points with OKC right now. And Miami got the money there in that game. I lost with Milwaukee. And I did have, I'm telling you what, guys, this is a bet on team right now for me. They got rid of Trae Young, and look what they continue to play well. Win outright against Golden State last night. The Atlanta Hawks, they're a basketball team that's feeling it now. They get rid of Trae Young, and the harmony's good. The chemistry's good. They're playing some defense. They're beating good basketball teams. Look out. Atlanta Hawks, man. Bet on team for me right now, Skee.
Yeah, I think the last day we did a show, I had the Hawks. Might have been my best bet for the show. So and they won easy.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
That was Denver Friday night, that brutal spot for Denver. Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
That's the one. All right, let's see what we can do today. We don't have Atlanta on the schedule, but we do have some other ones that I am willing to get involved in. So we'll start with Jazz and Cavaliers. Opened up minus 13.5. Looks like 13, even 12.5 popping up now. Total open 246.5. And I'm seeing mostly 250.5 out there. Niang is out for the Jazz. Strus and Wade are out for the Cavaliers. This Cavaliers team has been playing a little bit better, Babano, but at the end of the day, they still don't play good enough defense for me. So I can't lay 13 points with them. I know Utah hasn't been the greatest, on the road compared to at home, but it's just what I always say. Like I can't trust you to get stops. I can't trust you to win by big margins. I lean towards the Jazz here, and honestly, I can't talk anybody off the total going up. How you feeling about this one, Babano?
Yeah, well, sign me up for both of what you just said. I did bet over. I got a 248.5. It's gone up a little since then. I still think it could still get there over 250.5 in this game. Utah game's flown way over this number the last two. But I'm taking Utah here. We got the Jazz. I'm taking them with the 13. 13.5 I got. I like it at 13 in this game. I'm always willing to bet any team in the NBA when they're coming off the kind of loss Utah is. 55-point loss. I mean, that is just horrific from what we saw. And I know Utah's not a very good team, especially on the road. They're very blowout capable on the road. Whether Cleveland is that kind of a team to blow them out, that remains to be seen. But you're getting Utah here off a 150-95 loss to Charlotte on their home court. I mean, they lost that game by holy shit. I mean, geez, I was 55 points, 55-point loss on their home floor to the Charlotte Hornets. If you have any pride and self-respect as a professional and an NBA player, you got to show up after a game like that. I think Utah will. I think it's still a few. I know Cleveland's sort of righted the ship a little bit lately, 5-2 in their last 7 games, but they're still not covering consistently, as favorites. 13.5-point favorites against the G League Denver Nuggets that night, and they only won by 5. They were 3.5-point favorites against Detroit at home. They lost outright. They were 6.5-point favorites at Indiana. They only won by 4. They didn't cover in that game. They did cover last time they were favored, slight favorites against Minnesota in a revenge spot because they lost to Minnesota before. But we're now asking them to lay 13.5. Not for me. And I think Utah, off a loss of that magnitude the other night, they show up for 48 minutes. And if they show up for 48 minutes, I think it can hang in this big number. So Utah, I like that. Smaller bet on the over, but I like this Utah side. I like it quite a bit, actually.
Urbano, you would think that. That's my thought. That was my initial thought, too. I'm going to pull this up. I don't usually do this. I'm going to just pull this up just to, I feel like it's been so long since I've done this. Share screen. There we go. Should be this one here. I just was doing this. You can see this, Babano? Hold on, let's make this.
I do. Killer Sports to the old SQL database. Yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying and what you would think, like, if you just got your ass whooped by 50 points, you should play with some pride the next game. But it's not saying that. It's saying that road dogs who just lost by 50 get smoked again. 5 and 14 really? Wow. ATS as far as the entire database going down to 2,000. If you look at recently,
all I will say to that is that I know on some occasions I've taken a team off a blowout loss. They played well, but you're saying it's not consistent, and in particular for road teams and road underdogs, it's not really been that response that you would maybe think you would see.
Well, I'm not gonna go through all the SDQL, looking at all the things, but I did go through it this morning, and what I found was like when you get absolutely destroyed by 50, those are the teams not covering. If you lost by 30, 20, those are the teams who are responding. So maybe it's something wrong with the Jazz right now is what that query is saying. That's what
I don't know. The Jazz almost beat the Jazz beat Dallas and almost beat Oklahoma City before that. So if there's something wrong with them, Skee, it was just a one-game problem.
Could be a one-off.
Before that, they were, they beat Dallas and they almost beat OKC. So we know they can play.
I wonder if it was a schedule, maybe it was a bad spot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That OKC loss went to overtime. In fact, Utah blew it. Utah was leading in that fourth quarter, and it was OKC that came back to force OT in that basketball game. Yep.
Oh yeah, it was off the OT game. Yep. Oh, no, I don't know. Yeah, I can't lay with the Cavs. It's Jazz or nothing for me. All right. Celtics and Pacers. This one opened up -9. Is down to 5.5 here, Babano. Total open 226.5. Not really moving. You have Hauser questionable, Brown doubtful, Manat out. You have Toppin, Mathurin, and Jackson out. Nembhard questionable for these Pacers. First thing I think about here is under Babano, because obviously if Brown doesn't play, you're missing a lot of points. Hauser, you're missing some shooting. Manat, that's missing some defense. But Mathurin is points. Nembhard is points and pace. I just feel like you're going to be missing a lot here. I was thinking maybe under. Any thoughts from you?
Yeah, I don't mind that. You're right. You're missing offense here in a game like this with the personnel situation that you outlined. There's no doubt. And you look at Boston too. They struggled against the Spurs. I thought that was a great spot to back San Antonio. What was that, Saturday? Boston was coming off the blowout win against Toronto, playing San Antonio on a back-to-back, and they lost that game to the Spurs 100-95. Here we go again with Indiana. They're starting to, again, show a little sign of being competitive. They lose by 4 to Cleveland. They go on the road. They beat Charlotte. They whip on Miami last game, 123-99. I'm kind of want to take Indiana here, but it is Boston off a loss. So maybe although I will say this, the last time they were off a loss to Denver, they didn't cover against the Raptors. That win was not a point spread covering win for the Boston Celtics. They were laying 9.5 in that game. They only won by 8. I just don't know. I've been burned so much by Indiana, but that's my lean in this game. Pacers plus the points.
I lean that way too. The only thing I don't like about that is, you're getting ass into the line here if it opened at 9.
Yeah.
If I can still get a good number like that, I'm running to the window, but still just lean Pacers. Next game, Babano. 76ers and Raptors opened up -3. Looks like 3 still. Total came down slightly, from 222.5 to as low as I see 219.5 out there, a couple of them. As far as the injury report, we know these teams did play last night, right? So we have Embiid and Paul George, both questionable. And they both didn't play yesterday. So you could get them out there tonight. For the Raptors, you have no RJ Barrett again, still no Jakob Poeltl, Jacoby Walter out, and Ingram questionable. Babano, I think it's back to I don't trust the Raptors without RJ Barrett for real.
It seemed so easy to take Philly, right? Rapid revenge, double overtime, not double overtime, overtime loss last night, but without Embiid for the Sixers. Feels so easy. Just take Philly tonight.
I mean, why would we take the Raptors? They've shown us who they are without RJ Barrett. And Ingram's not going to play? I mean, I get it, but I don't know, Babano. It does seem so easy, but sometimes, man, sometimes they're just out there. I like the Sixers in this one.
Well, let me start by saying there's no chance I'm betting Toronto here. None. I mean, for me, it is Philadelphia or nothing. And I didn't bet yesterday's game either. But once, I knew Embiid was sitting, and then Paul George was a late scratch for that game. And I said, but I think the Raptors might actually win this now. And I thought there was some value because they pushed that up to like 3.5. And you could get Toronto plus 3.5 at home. I didn't bet it. And my concern why I didn't bet it is because of what you just said. They had no Barrett and they had no BI last night, Brandon Ingram. And sure enough, they were down in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. They rallied back to force overtime. And then they won in OT without Barrett and without Brandon Ingram. The problem for Toronto is you got 31 points from Scotty Barnes. He played 43 minutes. You got 17 points from the rookie. This rookie's going to be a good player, I think, Colin Murray-Boyles. The more I watch him, I think he might be pretty solid. He's such a great defender already at such a young age. But 17 points from him and 42 points quickly. We love some Jamal Shed. We're going back to the Houston Cougars, and he had a tremendous game, tremendous last night for the Raptors. The problem is, can you bank on that a second straight time? Can you get a big night from Barnes? Is CMB going to play that well again? Is Shed going to give you 22 points again? They got a lot of outlier performances. Hell, they got almost double digits from Elijah Martin, the kid out of Florida who was on that national championship team last year. Good college player with the Gators. He played a good game. A lot of step-up performances and outlier performances from guys that you don't necessarily trust Skee to do that 2 nights in a row. That's what it took for Toronto to win in overtime last night. Now you get Embiid back on the other side. Rapid revenge. Yeah, for me, it's Philly or nothing. I don't know if I'll bet Philly, but it's the only side I could talk myself into taking here.
All righty. Next up, Babano, we have the Nets and the Mavs. Opened up 3.5. I see 3.5 or 4, and the total came down about 2 points to 219.5. Brooklyn will be without Igor, Cam, Highsmith, and Williams. For Dallas, you have no AD. You have Brandon Williams doubtful, PJ Washington doubtful, Daniel Gafford questionable, Cisse questionable. I mean, you're missing a lot of front court talent for this, or a lot of rim protection, etc. for this Dallas team. So that makes me worry about laying with them. The Nets are on a back-to-back, right?
They are, and it was a hard-fought game, and they blew it at the end against Memphis yesterday.
And they haven't been so good on back-to-backs this year. I wish there was a big there for Dallas. I could really take Dallas, but I still lean Dallas. What do you think, Babano?
You know what I think? And the timing couldn't be better because Dutch might be joining us in a couple minutes. Back with this motherfucker.
Is bad for your health.
Mark knew it was coming in the chat.
It's a bad game when I'm not even giving you any kind of strong opinion on it.
Yeah, this one is tough.
I honestly would take Brooklyn. I'd take Brooklyn before Dallas, but it's a big spot advantage here for Dallas. And Nets wore themselves out pretty good yesterday. And they haven't been good on back-to-backs. In fact, the last time they were on a back-to-back, they lost by 24 to Houston, and then they lost by 20 at Washington. Washington on a back-to-back. Not good. All
right, Lakers in Sacramento. This one opened up 11.5. is down to 9 or 9.5, depending on where you shop. Total came down a little bit from 230 to 228.5 is what we'll call that. As far as the injury report, Reeves and Thiero out for the Lakers. For the Kings, Murray, Sabonis, and Schroeder look like they're all out. This is the Kings on a back-to-back here. The Lakers with a couple of days off. The Lakers off back-to-back losses. The Kings off a surprising win. I don't know, Babano. This is screaming take the Lakers to me. I feel like the times I've taken the Lakers, I've been pretty good with it this year, but they've been the defense, at least defensive rating, last 5 games, they're number 7. So defense has been a little bit better, and the Kings are just absolutely terrible. The last time the Lakers played the Kings this season, it was the same situation for the Lakers, except the Lakers were at home. By same situation, I mean Lakers were off back-to-back losses. They beat the Kings 125 to 101, something like that. On the road here now is down a few points to 9.5. I still think they can blow them out. I think the Lakers are the right side. I think the Kings team total under could be worth a look, but I like Lakers more. What do you think, Babano?
Yeah, no argument. No argument. I like the Lakers here. Here's the thing. Sacramento, I think I've got them at what? 1-7 straight up, 2-6 against the spread off a win this year. I mean, that's pretty terrible. And just the last few times they've been off a win, let's give you a little summation here. Off a win against Houston in overtime, December 21st. They lost next time to Detroit, and they gave up 136. They beat Dallas December 27. That was their last win. They played this Laker team the very next night, and they lost 125-101. They got blown out, lost by 24 points. So to say I don't trust Sacramento to string good days together would be an understatement. They have not done that very often. So in this game, I'm with you. This is going to be a split for me between the Laker minus 9.5 here and the team total over for the LA Lakers, because I do think Sacramento will give it up here. The team total is 119.5 for this LA Lakers team total. I mean, last time they faced the Lakers on a back-to-back, and it was on a back-to-back for Sacramento, and it was off a win, they gave up 125, to this Laker team. So I clearly think they can get over this 119.5 that we're seeing right here for the Laker team total over. So I will split it in half. Lakers minus 9.5, Lakers team total over 119.5.
Yeah, I could get with that. For sure. We got our guy Dutchy sliding in here. Let's see if we can fix that up there. What's good with you, Dutch?
There he is.
The NBA is a hell of a drug. And looking at the plug. Yeah, man. Good to be back with y'all, man. Yeah, this league, bro. This motherfucking league. Jeez, I'm tired of every highlight I see is a star player fucking in his regular clothes, suited and booted up. Unfortunately, it's game time. It's not club time. It's not day off time. It's game time. And these motherfuckers in they motherfucking fit. But yeah, man, this game, I like what my boy MMA locker room was talking. Money Mills this morning. He was on the sesh. He was on Luke over 34.5. Schroeder ducking him, running his mouth, trying to swing on him in the tunnels. Luka might drop 40 tonight. So I like my boy Wham Bam. He gave out the Lakers first half. Pretty much with Bobano, right there with Bobano. So I think, the Lakers, they play Atlanta tomorrow, so they should put them away early, right? So look at the dawn, and Lakers early seems to be the way.
All right, good stuff on that.
I'm telling you right now, if this lines up the way I hope it does, Lakers roll Sacramento right out of their own building tonight. You bet your ass I'll be betting Atlanta tomorrow night. The Red Hot Hawks without Trae Young against the Lakers.
Atlanta team total over.
That's my plan.
I think that's a good plan. All right. Yeah, that's a good plan for sure. Next game and last game, Hornets and Clippers opened up 5.5 for the Clippers. Looks like 5 or 4.5. Total came all the way down from 228 to about 223.5. As far as injuries or who's going to be out there, Bridges is probable. Connaughton is questionable. Sexton is questionable. Plumlee is out. For the Clippers, Kawhi is questionable. Bogdanovich, Derrick Jones Jr., and CP3 all out. Yeah, man. I know you popped on here for a reason. I'm going you first.
I'm just thinking, bro. I'm just thinking, Skee. Today's NBA. I literally come on here for the fucking Charlotte Hornets, bro. I mean, the LA Clippers. Oh my God, what are we gonna do, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. We got a little bit of NFL left. Oh wow! Shout out to my guy though, Stephen Harrison. I see you, my man. 70 B man 702 in the building, holding us down. Casey, beautiful young lady, good to see you. But yeah, man, I'm on the Charlotte Hornets here. I think this is an absolute horrible spot for the LA Clippers. I mean, you had the East Coast trip, right? They go right there. We take it on the chin against the Knicks. Then they got Brooklyn, and then just a tough basketball game. And shout out to the Clippers. Obviously, some players for the Detroit Pistons weren't playing. Not the best spot, though, to go into Detroit and win a tough competitive basketball game. 98-92, kind of a dogfight. And now that long travel back to LA. I mean, one day off, and you got the Charlotte Hornets in pretty much cruise control. Probably filmed themselves pretty well after smacking around OKC. Did mess around a little bit in between, but then dropped 150 on Utah the other night, and nobody played more than 24 minutes. So, you know what I mean? You could say the altitude, you could say that, but nobody played more than 24 minutes. They're a pretty deep basketball team. One thing I do know is they can put the ball in the bucket. So, if they get a little, if the Clippers start off a little slow, I think the Hornets could get the lead, and we should be live here to win the game, if not cover this 5. So Charlotte Hornets +5. It's good money.
Seemed like you like what you're hearing there, Babano.
Oh, it gets my stamp of approval, 100%. This is a spot that stood out to me right away. 3 games in the East Coast, New York, Brooklyn, Detroit for this Clippers team. They blew it for us against the Knicks. I'll never forgive them for that. I'm kidding. And then, of course, at Brooklyn, they bounce back and they win. And then a big win against the Pistons, 98-92. Now you're coming back. You're only playing 48 hours later from 3 games on the road. And I believe for this Clippers team, this is going to be the 4th game in 6 nights as well. All with travel.
With major travel.
Yeah, that's tough. Major travel. And don't look now. Look at this Charlotte team. 8-2 against the spread. You look at the overall record, it still looks bad, 14-25, but 8-2 ATS the last 10 games. They lost by 10 at home to Milwaukee, but outside of that, cover against the Warriors, lost by 7, close game. At Milwaukee, lost by 1, right there at the end, covered the number, beat Oklahoma City, beat Chicago, lost to the Raptors by 1 on a buzzer beater in a game that they led most of the way and still covered the number, lost by 1, lost by 2 to Indiana, and then they blew the doors off Utah last game. So even in the losses, they've been right there. 1-point loss, 2-point loss, 3-point loss. They've been right in the game. It's a brutal spot for the Clippers. I like the way the Hornets form is trending up right now. So I like it. Charlotte for me as well, +5.
I think that makes sense. Hornets been playing some good basketball lately. Terrible spot for the Clippers. We all can agree on that. Good stuff from everybody here. All right. Let's get it on over to the best bets, if I can find it.
Look at this, 23 minutes, 6 games. Who does it better than that? Yeah.
lots of information, too, in them 23 minutes. All right, best bets. Babano, I guess you get a rare first on the best bets today.
And it's a tough choice. Even for a 6-game card, there's a lot I like here with this. I'm going to go Utah. I just feel it with Utah. After an all-time bad thumping against Charlotte, that they will show up tonight for 48 minutes. And if they do, I think they just hang in this number. And I don't know if I trust Cleveland enough to win by a margin like this against a team coming off an all-time embarrassment. They're losing by 55 to Charlotte. So give me the Utah Jazz. We got the Jazz. Utah +13.5 against Cleveland. Best bet.
Good stuff. Babano says, fuck your SDQL. I'm going with what I like. All right. For my best bet, I'm going to go with, I love the Lakers, man. You can get 9 as the best number right now. 9, I see -115. I think this one is a blowout. Like I said, last time they played this team, they were also off 2 losses. They won by 20-something points. The only difference is they're on the road this time. No Reeves. I still think they have more than enough. The Kings, yes, they're coming off a win. It's going to be a big exhale, but it's going to be back to getting the doors blown off the hinges for that Sacramento Kings team. So for me, my best bet, I'm going to go with the Lakers -9. Last but not least, we're going to slide over to my guy, Dutchy. Let him know what the freshest look of the day is and take us home.
Yeah, man. Freshest look. Hey, man, it's in LA. And they will show up in LA. Believe that. Charlotte Hornets +5 live to win. It's good money. Be sure to like, subscribe, share the motherfucking video. Stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.
You guys ready? It's the plan, Bobby. We're winging it, Jerry. You always wing it. We're gonna get killed.
What you mean we, white boy?
You ready? Here we go.